Drinking Kool-Aid cameras like I did when I was 9, 'cause I like to pretend that I haven't lost the time. In the end, the nostalgia, though it tastes fine, I can only drink a couple 'cause it feels like a lie. We'd play Halo and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much, 'cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes. Months go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. Years go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. They've been with me for some time, and it's nice to know that they still by my side. Friends are like stars, 'cause no matter how far, when it's dark outside, they will be your light. We'd play Halo and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much, 'cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes. Months go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. Years go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. can't see through your skin.
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Here for Madden, this time a little bit different. I know the NACE Championships usually would have been at this time. They've been pushed back a week, so make sure you tune into those coming up in a few weeks. But for now, it is still Madden. It's the PlayVS tournament. Wasey Williams, Boise State's own, has been dominating just as much in that one as he has in NACE. Currently sitting at an undefeated record, and he has got a big game coming up on Wednesday, taking on Santa Fe University and a player that Wasey says is one of his toughest competition. He's in an offline or an online franchise mode with him. He said these two go back and forth all the time. So you're not going to win or miss that 5 p.m. on the Boise State Twitch channel. Wasey taking on his hardest opponent potentially ever. But how did Wasey get to be undefeated in PlayVS? That's what we're going to take a look at tonight. We've got a pair of games against some talented teams. We'll start off with Kansas State. I am Michael Fish Fisher, joined by Jacob Jem Palmer to call all of our Madden action. Wasey, as we said, he's undefeated right now, Jem. He's been rolling over everybody, and we'll see if Kansas State's able to slow him down, because right now he's looking ahead to that big match, but he's got to make sure he takes care of business here tonight.
Well, I'm excited to be here for my first time looking at Madden here on the desk with you, or at least in the same room at the arena. And I do have to say, Wasey has had such a great season. I don't know if any game that he could have during tonight would necessarily top what we saw in the previous broadcast, because we saw so many weird things in Wasey's last game, from, you know, disconnection issues to a very kind of bizarre always run, never pass strategy from the opponent, and then just up in the air of where the game was going to go toward the end there. So Wasey has definitely shown a lot of skill, but been through a lot of trials and tribulations, so to speak, in just how wacky the game got last time.
Yeah, I'm sure Wasey's hoping that nothing is as crazy as his semifinal match in NACE that you're referencing, where we had disconnects, the overtime rules up in the air, as you mentioned, the sort of kill the clock strategy that seems to at least be one of the few strategies that has been somewhat successful against Wasey. He has not lost a single Madden series all year. He's only lost 2 games overall in NACE. In PlayVS, we haven't always been keeping tabs with him, but I know he's still undefeated, and that is all that matters. So Kansas State is going to have their work cut out for him to try and hand Wasey his first loss of the spring semester. The man was top 20 in the nation last year, and he is on a roll so far this semester. We get Doc's keys to the game before we jump into our first game. Adjustments are key. Take what they give you, exploit their lack of adjustments, and put the dagger in the heart. That's what Chosen and I are always cheered for. Sometimes Wasey gets a little too nice. He just kneels on the ball. Always go for the 50 or the 60 spot if you can. It's all brought to you by Account, whose Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables a personalized customer experience for the 9,000 leading brands and payment providers, as well as quick and accurate identity trust decisions. If you want to stay safe online, go check them out at count.com, KOUNT.com. NACE Championships pushed back from tonight. Those will be coming up against Shenandoah in a few weeks. For now, it's Boise State and Kansas State here. And, of course, as we've seen all along, as the opponents get tougher and tougher, everybody's using the Green Bay Packers. We know Wasey's going to use it, and that's exactly what our opponent's going to be using here today. And we will see. Looks like Wasey, I think he's going to be in the whites. We will see when this first play calls, so that we are at least aware of which Green Bay Packer team Wasey is on. Always gets very confusing, Jem, when they're both playing as the same team.
Right, but you want access to, your MVP quarterback. So
yeah, we talked to Wasey. He said the only 2 viable teams in Madden are the Packers and the Buccaneers. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, not a bad duo. So Wasey in the white, great pass out on the flat, great 5 yards, and we'll see if Kansas State can slow down Wasey's scoring, because right now no team has figured that out.
Yeah, Wasey has been pretty consistent in just the amount of times he's been able to score off the offensive drives. Right now he's got 5 yards to go. He's going to be able to pick up that first down and just continue on.
Yeah, he is excellent passing the ball. Really, I mean, he's his own worst enemy. And I talked to Doc, who said he kind of hung out with Wasey during one of his prep sessions, and Wasey pretty much said, like in real football, 20-20. Game doesn't matter. Anyone at this caliber of skill is going to move the ball down the field 99% of the time. What you do in the red zone is what Wasey told Doc and the Boise State coaches. It was what matters most in these kind of games. So while it's nice to see Wasey moving the ball until he scores a touchdown, and once he gets inside the red zone, inside the 20-yard line, Jim, it's all really just casual for him because he said it's so easy to move the ball at times like this. Looking for, oh, he's got triangle wide open, but he'll just dump it off instead. And now we're inside that 20-yard line that we just talked about.
Yep, going to be inside here. Going to have 4 downs to push it 10 yards. Moving on to the next play here.
Probably looking for a crossing route. He's going to run the exact same play. That time, though,
ooh,
great catch.
Just inside the boundaries there. Just getting those tiptoes right up against the line there.
Boise State and Kansas State play versus Wasey 2nd and 1. Inside the 8, field really shrinks here. Got to be careful not to force the ball in, and that's an easy touchdown. Right on the wheel route, Aaron Jones, and look just like that, Wasey, familiar spot, early lead.
Now this is going to be the point where we really see kind of where the match kind of separates from here on out, is just looking at this other player's ability to score consistently on every single drive. It really was, Chosen last week. It was not too far into the first or second quarter where you could already see just kind of from the momentum this game is decided.
Yeah, Wasey does a really good job defensively, making adjustments on the fly. And like I said, no one's figured out a way to stop him. If he goes up 14 points, 21 points is usually a guarantee. It's over. I mean, there's no one who's going to be able to force him to make that many turnovers. He is excellent at killing the clock in the second half. So if you're Kansas State, there's a ton of pressure. You can see on screen all of the adjustments that Wasey makes every single game. I don't know how he even knows half those options exist, but it's going to be a lot of pressure for our opponent here. Smooth moves to be able to move the ball down the field.
Yeah, Wasey on defense here. Even managed to get an interception last week. Pressuring quarterback's going to be able to make the catch there. Driving down toward the 30, he's going to get stopped.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Wasey used his player-controlled character, tried to cover. I think that was Tanya who was crossing across the field and unfortunately left Adams wide open. But now we're getting to the part where the field will shrink down. This is where Wasey talked about it gets a lot harder to move the ball. You see there, 0 yards on that one for Kansas State.
Intended for Aaron Jones.
Yeah, it's going to be going to 2nd and 10 here.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Like it was a little bit of a play action there, then just tossed it to the running back. He's now going to be looking out for a pass here. No real pressure yet, still has plenty of time.
Yeah, just letting the receivers kind of run on the scramble drill. Get somewhere, and we get a wide open pass there to Tavon Austin. I mean, this is why it's so hard to stop players defensively. It's just, you can't get to the quarterback in time. You're just going to let the receivers start running all over the place. But when you get inside the 20, a lot less room to do that. We'll see if Wasey's able to tighten down here on defense. We'll start off with
just a few yards on the run.
About a 1 yard run, maybe less than a yard.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and
I don't know if you're going to try that again. That was sort of the strategy of Boise State's opponent last time, is just try to keep running for a few yards, but just way too slow of a strategy there. It's going to be able to get the catch, and it's actually going to be intercepted there. It's going to be run back there. That is a great. See, this is what sets Wasey apart, in how difficult it can be to play defensively. Wasey not only can just stop you, and just force you to punt, but get interceptions.
Yeah, you can't rely on your receivers kind of running all over the place like we just saw. Ooh, big hole there for Aaron Jones. I don't know if he's faster than 26. You've also got Jair Alexander coming in, doing a little bit of a wiggle.
He's going to make it.
Yeah, the wiggle there, if you're curious why you would do that, it's the AI really gets confused when you start moving left and right. Otherwise, if you run straight, the AI will just dive. They'll kick out your shoelaces and they'll tackle you. But that little wiggle, kind of, it's a little bit of a cheese play, if you will. And the AI doesn't quite know how to handle it, and Wasey runs that to perfection. And as Chosen would probably say, it's over at this point. I mean, Kansas State, Wasey's not going to make a mistake, and you're already down 14. I would be hard-pressed to see how Kansas State comes back in this one, but we know they're a talented team, so I guess we'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now.
Yeah, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I won't be quite as quick as Chosen might be to just call the game right now. I'll try to keep a little bit more of an open mind here. See, Rogers going to get the pass there. Past the 40 is going to pick up first down.
Yeah, Wasey thought it was either a running play. He committed on the blitz with his linebacker who was supposed to be covering that guy. Left him wide open. Similar formation. We've seen a lot of these two running back sets here for our opponent. Once they get that running back out in the open, he'll just throw it to Devontae Adams. One of the best receivers in football. It's so hard to slow it down, but that should be the end of the first quarter, and it will be. Wasey up 14 after the first, and Kansas State, they do get the ball, start the second half, so they can do that sort of score, get the kickoff score again. Can be a 14-point swing, but he's got to score here first before he starts worrying about that.
And this was really kind of a sore point of contention last week, was just talking about the time management. Wide open there. It's going to be taken down right at the 5.
Same exact play. He did that to Wasey earlier on. Just absolutely bailed on the receiver, left Devontae Adams wide open. Wasey calls the timeout. Wants to refocus the troops, and now we'll see if Kansas State, this time from the 4-yard line, can punch the ball in to at least get it within 7. Wasey's having none of that. He'll drive him backwards on the first running play.
So as I was saying, one of the things to keep in mind, especially as we head into the second quarter here, was the time management of both players and how well they were able to manipulate the clock to be able, come out on top of the fact that the ball changes possession as halftime goes past. So that was something that was really kind of that you and Chosen were really kind of critiquing both players last week is not necessarily managing the clock and the timeouts as well as it could have. Is going to be looking here, is going to find the touchdown, drive it to 14 and 6.
Should get the extra point here. Haven't had too many players have issues with extra points. We've seen it from time to time.
Hey,
we've seen it.
you would be surprised how many gimme kicks can sometimes sneak up on you. That's been a sore contention for Boise State in the past too.
Yeah, Boise State. Luckily, Wasey has not inherited that gene from Boise State football, is the ability to kick field goals. He doesn't really punt, so we haven't had to worry about that. Nice little return. I will say that is the one thing that almost is a telltale sign that the opponent isn't on the same level as Wasey. You see Wasey, he always does those short kickoffs, doesn't want to give it to their main returner. When his opponent is kicking it deep, usually I feel like Wasey knows he has a skill advantage. That running play, though, will go nowhere, and Wasey's goal here, he just wants to see already bleeding off as much time as possible. He wants to prevent Kansas State from getting that 2-for opportunity that we talked about, so I guarantee you he will burn a ton of time off this clock as he drives down the field.
And the more time you can get, might be able to have enough time to drive it in for another touchdown yourself and then just set it up so that you come out on top as the ball changes possession at the end of the second.
If you score a touchdown and your opponent can score 2 touchdowns in a row, that could be, we could be a tie game here. But I think he's more than content. He just wants to run as much clock out as possible. He'd even take a field goal, something he rarely settles for on this drive, just to prevent his opponent from getting the ball back. As he is play action there. Got triangle wide open. Ooh, risky throw.
Ooh.
Those cross the field throws can take a long time. Get to the 2-minute warning. And Boise's still with plenty of time left.
And he's going to be comfortable to, use a play, maybe a run here or there. Just keep that clock winding down. Don't necessarily see him going for any opportunity where he'd get an incomplete pass and stop the clock. And actually, a lot of pressure there is going to stop that.
Yeah, barely throws out of the sack. Sack would have been a huge loss. Probably would have been second and 20, but able to play out of that one. Let's see here. We got, circles wide open, but that wheel route for Adam Jones is just so deadly. And Wasey's 27-yard line, 2 timeouts. He'll gladly burn this clock down. And this is where we talk about time management. If you're the Kansas State player, you got to start burning these timeouts. Wasey's not going to give you the ball back unless he has to. So if you're Kansas State, you got to start thinking of how many timeouts can you burn defensively to make sure that you still have a chance here to make this a game.
It's going to be 1st and 10. Just continuing to run out that play clock. Looking wide open here. Is going to be passing it to Axe. Not going to find it. Incomplete. Still going to be 2nd and 10 with about a minute left on the clock.
Adams on a crossing route, all alone in the middle of the field.
Yeah. I was thinking for a moment he was going to go with square there. And he goes with square now and was able to pick up the first down.
I guess he wanted to. I mean, it is like I said. I mean, it is tricky. That's the one time we've seen Boise really struggle, which is against Shenandoah, who will be his opponent in the championship game in Nace coming up in a few weeks. He had, I think, 2 or 3 red zone interceptions in his first game and just kind of looked lost. So I can't understand why he maybe wanted to score, but like I said, he's going to be content. He's going to take all of this time off the clock. And I think Kansas State maybe burned their only chance to get back in this game. Because even if he scores in the second half, he'll still be down a touchdown and needs to force a turnover. And
he's going to throw it away there.
He's got plenty of time. He's got 21 seconds. He's got his own 2 timeouts. Wasey's not too worried about it. Even a field goal here is an acceptable play because it keeps you in a 2-score lead.
Going to be going to triangle. Going to be able to complete the pass there to Adams.
Right. Oh, see, now we see Kansas State finally take a timeout. Perhaps too little, too late. There's only 16 seconds left. I don't know how fast you're going to move the ball. Ooh, I think whoever circle was, I think was wide open in the end zone, but out of bounds. I guess Boise said he thought he wasn't out of bounds. Boise called a timeout. I think he called that timeout, though. I think he rolled out of bounds, but better safe than sorry.
I mean, he's still in control in the driver's seat on first down here.
It just means he probably only has maybe 2 plays, especially if he gets sacked, as opposed to 3. Ooh, risky play.
Oh, that was barely in bounds there.
This is probably the most risky we've seen Boise with the football. Taking a couple of tight plays, and this is what I'm talking about, Kansas State. You have 6 seconds left, so
yeah,
good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah,
just completely run it back now.
Yeah, this is going to the second half with Boise up 14. Once again, gross time mismanagement there by Kansas State. You've had plenty of opportunities to call timeouts, force Boise to run more plays, and I mean, he's still got 68 yards to go.
I mean, there was a glimmer of hope there I thought we were going to see a Marshawn Lynch just kind of push. I'll push you off of me and keep running there. But not quite there, and it's just going to get stopped there, and we'll hit halftime.
Yeah, he'll just run the clock out. Kansas State gets the ball back, start the second half, but you're down 2 touchdowns, so you got to score and then immediately try and force Boise to throw a turnover. Playing with fire here if you're Kansas State. That's what happens when you let Boise score 3 first-half touchdowns. And almost the exact same play once again. Repeat of what we just saw.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 31.
Yeah, now Kansas State really regretting that first-half interception in the end zone.
Yeah, that really just kind of threw it all out of whack here.
We're going to run the ball to start the game, and Boise's all over that one. 4-yard loss.
4 yards, second and 14. I wager you don't necessarily try to run again here.
Yeah, Boise rarely runs the ball unless he's trying to burn clock. So I would just kind of abandon the run if I'm Kansas State. Does not seem to be working. Deep pass. Ooh, he's got
nice.
Austin wide open. The foot race. Oh, Boise couldn't quite get there. That's a big touchdown, but still. Kansas State's got to find a way to stop Boise if he wants the way back in this game.
Yeah, Boise hasn't turned down any opportunity. Hasn't been hasn't been forced to punt in any of his offensive drives here. So you really got to be thinking if Boise's going to stay on pace here, then the game should at least be 28-14. If he can manage his time well here too, he'll definitely be putting Kansas State in a very similar situation that we saw in the first half.
Yeah, he'll probably be content running out. He might even get us at least to the 4th quarter, get a touchdown, and put Kansas State really on the back foot. And there we go. There's the running play. And so it begins. Probably not quite the lead he was hoping for, but he's still more than content knowing offensively Kansas State hasn't really stopped him yet. I don't even know if we've gotten to a 3rd down so far.
Yeah, 2nd and 7 right now. Is going to be passing to Austin there. Picks up first down.
Rogers pass.
Yeah, another just
Complete to Tavon Austin.
easy drive here for Boise.
A gain of
Like I said, we're
48.
easily going to get into the
And
fourth
a
quarter before
Packer
Boise scores
first
this
down.
football. Even a field goal would make it very tough for Kansas State, and these running holes have been absolutely
Wow.
huge.
Aaron Jones,
Boise
the ball
has,
carrier.
I think, yeah, now he has 100 yards on the ground. His
41.
opponent has, I
A
think,
gain
one.
of 16 yards. First
And
down.
that's-
It's just a 100 to 1, really. You know,
Yeah,
it's not that big of a difference.
Well, that's a good stop at least. It's a nice 3-yard stop there for Kansas State,
Jones
but
again, the ball carrier.
again, time's just going to tick down. We'll tick down nearly end. I think we'll have under a minute and a half left on our next play. We'll see what Boise can do here. Couple guys wide open. Nice coverage there on circle. Waiting.
Still looking for it.
Waiting. He's just. Oh.
This is so
dang.
much time.
Goodness.
He could wait as long as he wanted there. There was absolutely no pressure there on
A
Rogers.
gain of
Yeah,
8
I mean,
yards.
he could. I mean, he made a sandwich, and
third
as Chosen say,
down.
called his mom. You know, I mean, he did his taxes. He and that again goes back to what Wasey's talking about. I mean, 20 to 20, and really end zone to 20. And there's just so much time. There's so much space on the field. You very rarely are you ever going to find a stop unless you get a turnover. There's another first down for Wasey, and
Complete
to
to
be our
Tavon
last play of
Austin.
the third quarter coming up is
11 on the
Wasey's
play.
just more than content,
First down.
methodically
Packers.
moving the ball down the field.
He's going to hand it off there.
65 missed a key
Aaron
block.
Jones on the run for Green
Only going to
Bay.
pick up 1 yard there, make it 2nd and 9. Like you said, Wasey really hasn't been pushed to third down.
Second
Looks like
and
timeout's going to be taken there.
at the 24-yard
Send us to
line.
the fourth quarter.
Actually, quarter change, excuse me.
Quarter break, and Wasey is burned off 4 minutes, and then this is what I was talking about for Kansas State. You have to be in the driver's seat, otherwise Wasey will just kill clock all game long. He's got nobody open for now.
The circle looks pretty open.
Still way. I mean, he's got all day, and he'll just, you know, nice little toss over there to Jones, and
Rogers pass.
first down, and that's going to allow
Complete to
Wasey to
Aaron
probably
Jones.
burn off another
It's
minute,
a
minute and
gain
a
of
half
10.
off the clock.
And a Packer
And a
first
touchdown
down.
probably seals it here, unless things go just absolutely disastrous for Wasey defensively.
Yeah, and Wasey's really been the only one to really. Oh, he's just going to hand it off right there. Pick up maybe just 1 or 2 yards short there, make it 2nd and 1.
Josh Jackson.
And Wasey's the one I would count on to, you know, make a defensive play like an interception here. But I haven't necessarily seen anything from Kansas State that would make me think. Able to pick up the 1 yard there, make it 1st and goal.
Yeah, Wasey's just, he probably honestly didn't want that first down so that he could
First and goal, Green Bay.
guarantee he could burn more time off the clock. Go with his traditional I formation here. Have a tight end out at the receiving position. Make sure the blocking is all perfect. We see him almost every time on this play. Probably a handoff here to 28 would be my guess. You see that big hole right up the middle. There's nobody there. Yeah, this is a handoff to 28. Gets stuffed, but honestly, that's probably the worst thing for the Kansas State player because that's just 40 more seconds. Wasey's just going to burn down on the clock.
Oh yeah, he'll be happy to run out that play clock there.
Oh, actually
He's
quick
going to hand it off again. Only get another few yards there.
snapped it a little earlier than I was expecting. This will take us to the 2-minute warning, though. And even a field goal here is fine for Wasey. Is it still going to give him a 2-score lead with under 2 minutes left? And it would burn time off the clock, but they'll snap it once again. Oh, one broken tackle. Oh, can't break another one. Call timeout. It's where you call a timeout if you're Kansas State. You got to call a timeout. Wasey's going to go for it. He actually feels that confident
Wow.
in his defense. So this is where if you're Kansas State, you got to call a timeout.
Yeah, no timeout yet. Wasey's going to go on 4th.
I could see Wasey maybe. He's going to bleed this one down. Bet you if he doesn't get an angle, he'll just, yeah. He's just going to take the time off. This is, again, I mean, Kansas State, this is just a gross misplay of the time. Got to call timeout here. I mean, we just watched 40 seconds tick by.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, Wasey will actually probably take the penalty, yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
he took the timeout. I was like,
Oh, okay.
maybe one of the penalty just to make the kick a little bit easier. I mean, 5 yards from this angle is really nothing. Wasey would probably have to, like, hand his controller to his dog at this point to miss a field goal.
And's going to pick it up. Like you said, drive it into, make it a 2-goal game now. 2-score game.
10 points. And, I mean, just you have to wonder. I mean, if the Kansas State player has given up, because you just let 40 seconds just tick off the clock for no reason.
Yeah, his mind might just be in the next game. He's
Yeah,
just kind of going into the next game. What do I do in the next game? I'm not really going to pay attention that much to this one.
Yeah, which is not the mentality you want to have, because onside kicks in Madden are near impossible. And before he worries about an onside kick, he's got to score first. And I mean, if you're going to just run plays like that and get out of bounds, you didn't need those timeouts. But we'll see. Boise probably just wants a pick at the game right here. Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, pressure there, almost a sack.
I don't know how Boise missed that interception. But time's just going to tick down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Goes 6 more seconds.
Facing pressure, almost sacked again, has to throw it away.
Stops the clock at least, but I mean, 34 seconds. You arguably, if you're Kansas State, there is an argument to where you just throw a quick pass, get out of bounds, kick the field goal, and then immediately go for the onside kick to at least give yourself a chance. But he's going to bomb it deep. This is where you time out. Okay, now kick the field goal if you're Kansas State. Take the field goal, onside kick. Because you got to score twice.
Yeah.
It does not matter if you score a touchdown and you only leave yourself 6 seconds. So this is a moment where you probably just kick the field goal here if you're Kansas State, if you're making the correct play.
But it doesn't look like he's going to go for the field goal.
I mean, if he scores a touchdown here, maybe I'll eat my words, but it's still going to be quite difficult. This has Devontae Adams in the zone with the glowing red X. It'll make it a little bit harder to cover him.
Oh, facing pressure again. Not going to find it.
6 seconds just wasted. I mean, you've still got to score twice. So I think we can pretty much wrap this one up here.
You ain't doing nothing. Box it. 26, Mike. Hey, tight.
Yeah, this is
26, Mike.
a close game for Kansas State, but one where maybe the score is a little bit closer than the game actually was.
Down past 20 seconds. Oh, he's going to get sacked.
Nope, that's game.
Yeah, that's
we're
game.
Done. We're done here. You can kneel down the side.
Third and 17th, Fish. You can't count these people out.
It could be 3rd and 1 from the 1. It's already over. It just doesn't matter. You're no way you're scoring 10 points in 16 seconds against Wasey. That's just it's just almost impossible. Even if Wasey gave up, that's almost impossible. You got a wide open field. I mean, this is what we talked about. It's so hard to throw the ball in the red zone. Cross the body. And it gets dropped. 4 seconds left. Final play of the game. Will not matter the outcome on this play. A touchdown at least for Kansas State. Makes them feel good, I guess.
Yeah, you can get a little. It's the same principle like in Rocket League. Like if you're down, 5 goals, but if your team manages to score a goal, at least going into the next game, that can give you a morale boost and just help you. So I wouldn't discount, maybe just in terms of not getting tilted. They can find if he can find the touchdown here, it might just help him go into the second game with just a little bit more spring. But it's just going to get sacked instead.
Oh, he probably should just kick the field goal, honestly, just taking the slightly better score differential. But Wasey will cruise to a Game 1 victory. As I said, one of those games where the final score really doesn't indicate how much of a blowout that was, as Wasey was never really in danger. Nice win for him there in our first game over Kansas State, 24-14 victory, and he's just moving right along. And once again, I mean, we have yet to see a team that has truly challenged Wasey. I mean, I even went back, watched the Shenandoah game, which will be his championship matchup in Nace. was a blowout in games 2 and 3. So, as I said, Wednesday's the game you really want to tune into. It's the best player Boise has ever played. It's a guy he really, really idolizes. He says they're in an online connected franchise. He said this guy gives him a run for his money every single time, plays for the University of Santa Fe. It's actually the older brother of a game we covered earlier this semester, if you remember that Santa Fe game. So that's the game you want to check out. It's coming up Wednesday. But for now, Jem, you cannot be disappointed for that first game against Kansas State where Boise just kind of, did exactly what he does best, score touchdowns, not turn the ball over, and win with pretty much ease.
Yeah, score touchdowns, also getting an interception there, something that we didn't necessarily see. I wasn't expecting Kansas State really to make an interception at all, but Boise, it's happened both this broadcast and the last broadcast we had, managing to get an interception, a pick six here or there to just really just run up the score and put the opponents into those situations where, like, you have to start thinking of onside kicks, and I score the field goal now and have to do a touchdown right after that. Yeah. So that's what really kind of sets Boise apart. Is it's not a question of him forcing his opponent. Okay, he got the touchdown. Now I got to get a touchdown. It's he got the touchdown off the interception. I got to get two now to answer what he did.
Yeah, I mean we really have not run into a team that has consistently stopped Boise defensively. As you said, he always has the pressure on, and it's always okay. How does the opponent come back? Very rarely have we ever had a situation where it's, okay, how does Boise come back? As I said, he's dropped 2 games on stream all semester in 0 series. He's undefeated in both NACE, where he's in the championship, and PlayVS. And right now, Kansas State's got their work cut out for him. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more Madden coming up next. Welcome back in the Boise State Gay Pants Esports Arena. We're going on to game number 2 in our first PlayVS series of the night. It's Boise State and Kansas State. Boise with a dominating 24-14 victory. Game number 1 here. We'll see if he can keep it up and move right along, remaining undefeated in PlayVS. And on to our second match of the night, where it'll be Boise State taking on Lakeland. But right now, he's still got to focus on Kansas State. Maybe the Wildcats have come up with some kind of game plan here. during our break to try and slow down Wasey, Gem, because whatever they tried in game number 1 did not work. And despite the 10-point score differential, the game was really, kind of done by the time the second half kicked off, and Wasey had a 21-7 lead.
Yeah, it was kind of done by then. It put Kansas State in a very tough situation. But I'm almost really concerned, just what we saw from Kansas State in that last minute or so of playing. Because it's like you said, they were in a position where they had to, maybe get a field goal and then, do an onside kick and hope that near impossible play works out. But what we saw Kansas State instead doing is just kind of almost like, a train stuck on tracks trying to drive through a brick wall. I'm going to try to get this touchdown. And instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to try to get the field goal, at least what I know I can do, and work from there, it was almost like a kind of stubbornness. And the fact that not only did they fail to get the touchdown, but started getting sacked multiple times. It was just like everything was falling apart in those last few seconds. And in terms of mentally and kind of resetting yourself in between games, I'm just a little bit concerned in terms of tilt, if it's just something that you get so laser focused on one play and it just not only doesn't work out for you, but kind of falls apart in your face. I hope Kansas State is able to kind of mentally reset after what we saw.
Yeah, we also saw, once again, the timeout issues really plagued Kansas State. Multiple minutes almost left on the clock, both at the end of the first half when he maybe had a chance to get the ball back and tie that game up, and then at the end of the fourth quarter where Wasey just burned off, I think, almost close to 8-9 minutes on that drive. But we will head to the Superdome, Wasey's favorite stadium, his go-to, and Wasey still in the white. We'll get the ball to start the second half as he kicks it off here. So great time here for Kansas State to make a statement early in game number 2 of our PlayVS series with Wasey. Already up 1-0 in the best of 3. And Wasey this time will just kick it deep, and that's probably why he doesn't like to kick it deep, is that is a huge return for Kansas State all the way down to the 47-yard line.
That's going to be a great start for Kansas State there. And if they can get into themselves into the position that Wasey is in, you always want to, try to, you're going to feel good when that 40-second or 30-second play clock is your best friend and you're just content to wait on, and hope that your opponent doesn't call timeout.
Looks like we've got a little bit of a pause. It actually might have been Wasey on the kickoff. We'll have to see. It shocked me that Wasey would have kicked it that deep. He just misread what was happening. Yeah, because that was actually a return by Wasey.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
Not by Kansas State. And Kansas State will actually go ahead and burn a timeout. So it will be Kansas State in the yellow at the top of your screen, Boise State in the dark green. Kansas State will have the white uniforms. That is a huge kick return, and probably, like I said, that's, again, why Boise does not kick it deep. It's because you can have returns like that, and now that's going to put Boise in a very, very short field to give himself quite the advantage.
Yeah, he's going to find himself at 2nd and 1, and already a timeout burned off for Kansas State, which for a player that we saw was already struggling. Time management is just going to find the opening right there in the center and drive it for a first down.
Yeah, Wasey is, this game is already trending in a very bad direction for Kansas State. Again, though, they will get the ball to start the second half, so if they do manage their 2 timeouts a little bit better, they might be able to maybe make Wasey work for it. As Wasey's going to roll out. He's got nobody open, and he'll just throw that one away and prevent the loss of yardage.
I'm not going to be too concerned with Wasey on the second down here. Wasey usually is able to convert this in just 2 downs here. Haven't really seen him go to 3 downs, and there you go.
Yeah, great play there for Wasey. First down once again. And he's just chugging right along. It's inside the 20 now, 16-yard line. Field will get a little bit smaller. See how Wasey handles that. Haven't really seen him struggle at all. You've got Aaron Jones on the wheel route. Out of the backfield. Almost an unstoppable play in Madden. We'll see if Kansas State's able to figure it out. They're going to double cover Jones at least. Wasey will just throw it away.
Rogers on the keeper.
I'm going to go to 2nd and 10 here, but this normally, if we're to judge the pattern or the rhythm that Wasey has kind of set for himself thus far, then Could see another conversion here or even a touchdown. Not going to hand it off to Jones. Instead, looking for the right pass here. Off to the left. Going to pick up a few yards there. Make it 3rd and 3.
Boise probably in 2-down territory. Very aggressive, likes to usually go for it, especially when it's a man-level play. Actually, very rarely have seen Boise punt the football. We'll see what Boise has up his sleeve here. First snap, multiple guys open. He'll go for the touchdown, and he'll get it with ease. And just like that, Boise's back in front.
Well, when you can count on Devontae Adams, you know, it's just kind of just your almost guaranteed catch at this point. It's going to be a great touchdown.
Yeah, it definitely helps that the Packers have one of the best in the business. You can usually find for quite the easy play. So once again, it's Boise State right off the kickoff. Huge lead. Not huge, but a lead. And
I mean, it's a lead. You know, it's enough of a lead to. We're getting into the whole time of when do you start to call the game? Now, in full disclosure, you know, I have a grandfather who watches football games, and he's almost notorious in our family for calling the games too early. Like if you don't make first down on your first play, you know what I mean, or if you only gain 1 yard on a run, he might say, okay, they're not going to get the game. he's one of those people that calls the game that early. He's actually going to be able to barely pick up first down there, but anyway. So I'm just wondering how much I'm going to be channeling him, or if I'm channeling him at all. Because at one point you've got, wow, a wide open play there to Jones. He's going to be able to drive it down to at least the 20. Is going to get it.
Nope.
Oh, just down to the 5. But anyway, at one point, you know, when you got a player as consistent as Boise, you know, there's a point where you can maybe call the game. But at the second time, I'd be remiss if, you know, if we're talking about broadcasting from Boise State, you know, the team that you know got really on the map with one of the best comebacks against Oklahoma State that we still talk about even more than a decade later. Stuff can happen.
It can happen. I think the biggest thing here is, you know, we'll probably know based on the halftime score what the status of this game is looking like. I mean, this is a great opportunity. Last time, Kansas State threw an interception on their first drive of the game in the end zone, and it kind of doomed them. But a score here, especially from the 3, should be easy on paper, but it's already 3rd and goal, and Kansas State's running out of opportunities. We'll see what Boise wants to dial up on 3rd down.
Now, if they miss here, do you think he tries to just settle for a field goal, or does he even go on 4th?
I think he'll go for a field goal, but he probably should go for a touchdown. Just simply because you have to match Boise's score for score. A field goal, while nice, does not get that done, as Boise could easily balloon that lead to 14-3. So I think this has got to be 2-down territory. He's going to get sacked. Fumble! I don't think he's going to return it, and I mean, you know what? That is
wow.
If Boise scores here, it's game. I mean, we can put it as simple as that. That is just, I mean, doing too much. Back-to-back first drive turnovers for Kansas State. And I guarantee you Boise will make you pay for that. No big run this time like he had right off the interception last time. But, again, we haven't seen Kansas State stop Boise a single time defensively.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten past the first quarter here. And he's just going to run it himself, slide in there, make it 3rd and 5. This is probably going to be, you know, a pretty big play here. If Boise can at least get first down here and continue on his drive here, it's actually just going to end the first quarter there. Go into 2nd.
Yeah, I think Boise's already thinking ahead about, okay, how much time do I need to kill to limit the opportunities, the scoring chances for Kansas State. And I wouldn't be shocked if Boise does not get this. If he goes for it on 4th down. Oh, great job covering Tanya, releasing.
Wide open.
Oh, is he going to get it? No. Madden's not going to give it to him on the toe tap. But, yeah, Boise immediately, he's going to go for that. He has to have a play already ready to go, and we'll see. This one is a big one for Kansas State. This is a huge stop, puts them in great field position, and could even get them back in the game. So a lot of pressure on Boise here on 4th and 5. Oh, nice.
All right, he's going to be going for it. Able to find the first down. That's huge.
Never a doubt there for Boise. As soon as he didn't get that third down, he immediately called the play. He no hesitation, didn't think, okay, maybe I should go for it, maybe not. So huge first down, and now that's just going to allow Boise to run the ball.
Oh, look at Adams!
Ooh, I don't think he's going to be able to get that one, but that's a great first down. And yeah, Boise's already, I think, looking at, all right, how much time can I take off the clock right now? He's going to already puts the play clock down, burns as much time as allowed in Madden, and he'll just slowly and methodically move down the field.
Adrian Amos on the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 48-yard line.
All out pressure here.
2nd and 8, play action there. Going to be able to find it. Pass over to Adams. Going to get the first down.
Nice play there. I mean, again, this is the gold standard. Is Boise is very rarely stopped offensively, and if you can't stop him, and this goes to 14-0, you might as well just, you know, if you're Kansas State, maybe you got a nice dinner plan tonight. Maybe you want to take advantage of spring break, but you know, I just call it right here. If you're Kansas State and Boise scores another touchdown, get an early start to your Monday evening. Because this is not going to go your way if Boise's got a 14-0 lead. He's just going to cut out as much clock as possible, and we're once again seeing an inability by Kansas State to use their timeout.
And it looked like it was Austin there instead of Adams. Excuse me. Is now going to find second and 7. Second and 7 right here. Going to be about 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock. Run the play clock out.
No rush here for Boise. He'll score whenever he feels like it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
like a true pro.
Just waiting, a little bit of pressure, and going to throw it away.
Boise's got, I mean, he's still got third down. I mean, maybe he kicks the field goal if he gets the fourth down. Might go for it because that would be a long field if you're Kansas State, but it would at least give you some hope. You can take the lead, so it wouldn't surprise me if Boise kicks the field goal, but I know he wants that touchdown, and it's just that easy. 14-0. Yep. If you're Kansas State, you might as well just consider ending this one.
Yeah, you basically, I mean, if they can get an interception or force Boise to fumble, I suppose, but that's
well, they got to score a touchdown.
I mean, you gotta walk before you can run, so to speak. So
yeah, you gotta. If you're Kansas State, you can score a touchdown in the next minute and 8 seconds. All right, maybe you got a chance. We'll see. But if they don't score here, it's game over for sure.
It's going to go down there past 26.
I mean, see what they've got dialed up. They got the ball all the way down to the 3-yard line on a big run last time.
Facing pressure here, having to throw it away. Going to drive it to 2nd and 10.
Rogers 0 for 2 right now for Kansas State. Not the stats you want the reigning NFL MVP to have.
No, not at all.
And I mean, this is kind of what we saw, you know, last week against Muskingum. A lot of players have tried to take the ball out of Boise's hand and run the ball quite a bit.
Well, you're not going to be, you know, 0 on passes if you just run the ball every time. But I think we've already figured out that isn't necessarily a viable strategy either.
It'll keep the score respectable, that's for sure. And
another interception.
That's game.
That's
game.
Right. Pick 6.
Surrender. He's taunting him. 21-0. It's game. 21 skunk. Let's go.
All right. I can tell my grandpa his prediction is going to come true at this point.
There's no hope here for Kansas State. I'm sorry.
But hey, we've still got, you know, an entire half game left to, you know, shoot the breeze.
I mean, as like I say, there's no. Sorry, Kansas State friends and family, but Boise's not blowing a 21-point lead. Get it respectable here if you score a touchdown before the end of the half, score a touchdown at the start of the second half, then okay, you know, maybe you can at least have a close score line, but I'm pretty sure this one's all but wrapped up.
I mean, I suppose the only way that the game could turn around is if you sub out your main quarterback for an alternate who hasn't played all season, and then you're forced to resign as coach because no one, not even the commentators, can plumb the depths of why you would do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if Boise starts trolling, sure, maybe there's a hope here for Kansas State, but Boise's a pretty serious guy, except when Chosen and I are yelling at him to score 60. Then things get off the rails, and that's not a great start if you're Kansas State, as you gain 3 yards on 2 plays. You burn 10 seconds off the clock, and now you're facing a pretty big 3rd and 7. Gotta think he'd go for it here if he didn't get it, because if you punt the ball to Boise, there's a chance Boise might make it 28 now. Oh, that's a huge catch by
How
Adams.
did he even manage to rescue that?
That is Devontae Adams and Madden physics for you. So that totally bails out Kansas State. Forces him to call a timeout, though. He's still got a long way to go before he can get in that end zone.
But hey, sometimes, almost there. Almost going to be able to complete that pass there. He's able to, but time's running out. Below 30 seconds, 2nd and 7. But even just getting, one touchdown, at least in terms of mentally, might put him in a better place. Just I would at least rather know that I've scored rather than, failed every drive that I've tried so far.
Yeah, but with no timeout, it's going to be very difficult here. Ooh, nice little play. It's one of Boise's favorite plays, but I mean, time is going to run out here. He's got to spike the ball. So he gets one last 40-yard heave into the end zone, or maybe a field goal to just get. Okay, he's all right. It's over. It's over. Game over. He's taking the Andy Shank.
Yeah.
Well, he tried.
Unfortunate.
He tried. He wanted at least avoid the shutout. He'll get the ball back to start in the second half, but highly unlikely that Boise is going to blow a 21-0 lead. So let's get the next 10 minutes to watch this game wind down and Boise remain undefeated.
Yeah, it really kind of puts into perspective how wacky last week was, especially since, after a performance very similar like this, we didn't know for like a second or two if all of Boise's work was going to be for naught, since, due to connection issues, there was a connection of who was going to forfeit. Now, it certainly wasn't going to be us here because we have a stream here as evidence that we were here and not willing to forfeit. So.
Last week was a crazy week, and this is probably just what Boise needed as he nearly gets sacked. Ball barely to throw it away. This is kind of the beat-down performance I think Boise was looking for that we almost expected in the semifinal, especially after that first game where Boise won by over 20. But, shout out to Mussingum for keeping it close, making Boise work to the very end, beating him for only the second time all season. But Kansas State's not going to have that same luck, as they're going to be faced with the 3rd and 9 here to start the 3rd quarter, and already putting themselves in a very, very poor position.
Yeah, I don't think Kansas State is in any. I mean, if they go it to 4th, I don't know if you probably just have to go for it because they need that touchdown. Able to find it there with Austin. He's going to be able to get the first down, and boy, that's a first down that you need at this point. Any sort of progress.
Yeah, at least, you keep the ball out of Boise's hands potentially for another play.
I mean, that's a good place to start. Keep the ball out of Boise's hands. As soon as I say that, of course, it's going to be intercepted again by Alexander. He's going to get two pick six in one game.
But this is a this is a forfeit moment if I've ever seen it. Oh, is he going? He's going for the fake. Yeah, Boise's going for the fake. He's going to try it. No, he tried. Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, at this point, he's not going to care too much about those 2 points.
Boise's just having some fun now. Maybe go for 40 or 50 if your opponent starts to really get careless with the ball. But yeah, this is This is just all right. Let's all go home, start our Monday evenings, at least for Kansas State. Wasey's got another game after this. But yeah, this is a you know what, just end with dignity kind of games for Kansas State, I guess. That is not. This is
not
all right.
too. Oh my goodness, this is
You
painful
hit
now.
the start button, you go over about 5 times. And when it asks if you're sure you want to quit, you hit yes. That is the game plan here for Kansas State.
2nd and 17. Third and
24.
24.
26.
3rd and 26. Even better.
Yeah, I mean this one is. Maybe Wasey will go easy at birds of clock, but this one's been over for quite a while now. It's a really unfortunate fumble for Kansas State in the first quarter that really doomed them. At least get 6 yards back, but I don't know if a 4th and 20 is really what you're looking for.
I mean, the ultimate thing that Wasey could do is try to force a safety, because they're already back at 15. So if you could get a big enough sack, I suppose, or at least on that last play, a safety would have done it. And it just is another one.
Yeah, and that's not even going to give Wasey enough time to run the clock out, because he's going to get the ball at the 11-yard line. So now
conversion on downs.
Now we're looking at the 50s. And how close Wasey can get to that 50-point mark. And if he goes for it.
He's just going to throw it to Adams and get a touchdown.
See if he goes for 2 here. A lot of his opponents have learned he does like to go for 2. Everybody calls that, that field goal fake defense, and Wasey will just bang it through the uprights in one play, touchdown, and Wasey's feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, another touchdown, 7 points. I mean, at least going to probably get past 40 here. Kansas State is going to have another opportunity at this point, just put something on the board.
Yeah, I mean, at least, you can look at it 2 ways. One, it does give Kansas State, they still got about 7 minutes of game time here to at least avoid a shutout. At the same time, it does allow Wasey to maybe score a couple more touchdowns. And you were even just going to run the ball out. Ooh, big hold, though.
Wow.
Too little, too late, unfortunately, for Kansas State.
Well, I mean, it's not as a point as I think the game's going to turn around as a result of that, but you just got to appreciate the little things in life, Fish. And then Wasey sacks you, and then you can't appreciate them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you got to worry about scoring first before you can really appreciate anything. That big goose egg on the scoreboard is really going to damper any nice thing you're looking at.
Ooh.
Nice defense there from Wasey. And we're already 3rd down. Again.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down.
And Wasey's just looking to wrap this one up in short order. Look at that nice little running play. At this point, I'm assuming he's probably just going to punt.
At this point, choosing to run on 3rd and 11. I'm just almost wondering if he's just starting to choose to run here because he doesn't want to throw it for risking Wasey getting another interception.
Throw it on 4th down when he needs it most, and he'll eat a sack
fumble. It's going to be picked up by Wasey. Change around again.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. It
wouldn't have mattered, but still.
Even if Kansas State picked the ball up, the ball still would have been turned over to Wasey. That's 4 turnovers now. Unfortunately, Wasey playing from home today means that we cannot influence him and start chanting 50. But he looks like he still wants to put some pressure on, run up that score, let Lakeland, his next opponent, know he is not playing around. And, I'll take it.
I mean, I'm not going to scoff at the very least 34-0 here.
Oh,
but it's probably going to be 41.
We see moments of brilliance from Kansas State, but just way too little of them and way too late for them to really even matter in this game.
He's going to find himself 3rd and 10 here. Looking right, going to find Adams wide open, get the 1st down. A little under 30 seconds left.
Only 30 seconds in the third quarter. Still got a whole fourth quarter ahead of us here.
That is true. That is true.
For Boise to potentially try and open this game up. Nice little play to Jones there. Picks up 6. Third quarter will end, and this game's been done for a while, but we still chug along. It's game 2 play versus Boise up by 34, looking to punch one in here to really put an exclamation mark on our first series of the day.
Looking for the pass over to Adams. Another touchdown. Drives it up to 40 now. 10 short of the 50 that we've been talking about.
He can get 2. He probably is going for 2 here.
Yep, I'm going to go for 2.
Oh. Opponent was ready for that one, so going to be a little bit harder for Boise to get to 50. He's going to have to score twice more, but unfortunately the way Kansas State has been moving the ball, that's unfortunately probably easier and more likely than Kansas State scoring a touchdown.
Well, the good news here is that you stopped your opponent from getting a 2-point conversion. Bad news is that it was going to make the score 41-0 instead of 40-0. So that's a pretty big bad news.
Yeah, I mean, small victories, I guess, for Kansas State.
At this point, it's like a magnifying glass, you know, having to. He's going to hand it off over to Jones, just gets stopped right there.
Yeah,
Not make really any progress.
He's hard to tell what Kansas State's going for. He'll run the ball a couple of times, but he's not really killing the clock. And then if he, gets close, he'll go for it on 3rd and 4th down with some big plays. So I'm not really sure what he's going for. Maybe he's trying to work on a strategy if he were to maybe play Boise.
He's just handing it off automatically to run every time. And it's actually going to work out and probably get him his first touchdown. So there's something. There's Kansas State's first touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a nice little juke there on the last man left. But, again, it really does not matter. Just brings the score to be a little bit more respectable.
You just don't want to see that 0 on the scoreboard, so it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm just confused. I mean, it's not really like killing clock, but he's definitely not, still trying. You wouldn't run the ball 3 straight plays in a row, touchdown aside. So it is kind of weird to me. What exactly Kansas State's going for? Like I said, maybe it's one of those, working on things to do in the playoffs. Boise's making a lot of moves for a really small gain.
The Packers take over 1st and 10.
And at this point, you're going to want to show off.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, this is where I would be curious to see if Boise maybe just kills the clock. He can easily get us out of here in rather short order. But it looks like from the play yard, at least, he's still going to go for it. Try and push for that 50. Ooh. Oh, no. I think Kansas State's own guy ran into himself, or ran into another computer control player, ended up tripping up around midfield. You saw him kind of fall to the turf. Maybe the turf monster got him there in New Orleans as well.
Or maybe it's just the computer itself, creating a visual metaphor for this game.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas State has definitely fallen flat on his face. That is for sure. And Boise has really no intention of slowing down as he's already to the 49-yard line of Kansas State. Still plenty of time left for Boise to get within 50. Ooh, that's a big sack there. Nice play for Kansas State. 3rd and 24.
Yeah, that's actually the first sack I believe I've seen from Kansas State. So 3rd and 24. It's not going to be too bad a performance unless Boise can find a big. No, not going to get sacked again.
Boise's going to go for it.
4th and 39. Well, at this point, why not? 4th and 39. I've got confidence here.
Gets this. I mean, that would be just a huge slap in the face if you're Kansas State. Almost, I mean, he's going to bomb it deep. He actually caught it. He did catch it. He'll get marked, I think, about 4 yards shy of the first down marker. But unfortunately, Kansas State's now going to have the ball in a very, very unfortunate position as opposed to maybe where they could have got it inside that 20-yard line. And they're going to start passing the ball again, but, I mean, the outcome is all the same. It's a Boise victory.
Barely able to get it to Dillon there. Going to pick up 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
We'll go to the 2-minute warning with Wasey.
That just shows how much of a nail-biter this game is, Fish.
Yeah, this is a 2-minute warning here. Yeah, it's a been one of those games for Wasey. Unfortunately for Kansas State, been one of those games.
I mean, I'm glad, a win is a win, but sometimes you just need a little excitement in your life. Going to be able to just barely, I think, going to pick up the first down.
See what, Kansas State is at least trying to move the ball. Gotten 11 yards in about 20 seconds. And
Ooh, Bill.
Almost sacked
That was
there.
close.
Still pushing the tempo.
Yeah, managed to get 5 yards when getting 5 yards from a situation where you're just a second away from getting sacked. Not the worst outcome.
No. At least, some redeeming qualities here for Kansas State. They stop Wasey from scoring. They appear to be moving the ball. That is a dangerous throw, but Aaron Rodgers will make it work. But Brett Favre could not. We'll see in the final minute if Kansas State can at least get themselves into double digits.
I mean, getting into double digits, it's just the same thing as not making sure it's not 0. It's just making it just a little bit more respectable. Pass to Jones, at least going to go almost to the 5 there, but they're flagged.
Roughing the passer there on Wasey, so that'll give him another yard. Down to the 2. And again, I mean, none of this really matters. All just for pride at this point if you're Kansas State. Trying to come up with a play to at least end on a touchdown, and
oh,
going
ouch.
the wrong way.
Oh, not only a sack, but just trying to run away from the sack.
17-yard loss there.
Oh.
And he still even calls
it's
a
still
timeout.
it's still 2nd and goal.
Yeah.
technically you could still say it's 2nd and goal, and to someone who might not be seeing the field visually right now, it wouldn't sound so bad.
No, 2nd goal sounds great until you're from the 19-yard line. And I guess props to Kansas State for playing this one out. But, you could also just send us all home here a bit earlier. Wasey will do his best. Seal that one, and now it's Wasey's turn to call a timeout. So now Wasey wants to say, hey, you know what? Look, I want to score one more touchdown. Really a different player.
Just throw it to me so I can score another touchdown.
Different player from what we saw from the start of the year, who run the clock out with 10-point leads, now calling timeouts. Up 33. And that is a pick.
They threw the ball.
And now, I mean, honestly, probably a worst-case scenario, the Wasey got the pick, because now instead of getting the ball maybe around the 30-yard line on 4th down, he get it at the 12. So now he's got to go 88 yards in just 28 seconds. And we'll see what Kansas State has.
I mean, at this I thought he was going to get a safety there.
He showboat, and he fumbled the
ball.
ball.
Again, he picks it up.
Oh, my goodness. That is just, I mean, that is not the first time we've actually seen Wasey do that as well, which is the sad part. We very rarely
picked it up.
Yeah, like I said, I think that is actually not the first time we've seen Wasey do that. Oh, a dime! Oh, somebody call Trent Dilfer. That is a Dilfer dime to Tavon Austin. Double coverage, doesn't matter. Wasey's going for 2.
48's pretty close to 50.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he goes for the onside kick, looks for the field goal. I doubt it, but he actually, if he gets this, his 2 missed 2-point conversions actually been the reason why he didn't get 50. Wide open. Wide open. And he's going to do the Wasey's going for 50.
Yes, let's do it.
Can Wasey get the onside kick? And no. Technically, yes, but no. The ball did not travel 10 yards down the field. So it will be an illegal touching on Boise, and that will seal it. But, you know, mad respect to Boise for going for 50. Kansas State wants to know what they did to deserve that level of beatdown.
I mean, I'm just so happy right now. A possible sack for a safety for Kansas State turns into a pass, which turns into a fumble, which then turns into a touchdown one play later.
There's still a chance for Boise to get 50 if he gets a huge interception. Starts lateraling the ball around. That's what I always root for. Ooh, great defense. And once again, Kansas State will end the game. Going for a touchdown. We'll see if, unlike our other game, they're able to end up with it. Last time they got stuffed. Sacked on the final play, and we'll see what happens here in the last game of the series, the last play of the series. Here is Boise State is already well on their way to a victory. And that's a pick.
And it gets the
All right, lateral it. Oh, you got to lateral it in that situation, Wasted. That's what we need to work on. We need to work on those laterals. But
you need to get to 50, so you got to work on your 48-point laterals here.
Exactly. But that is going to do it here in our first series of the night. Oh, victorious almost doesn't do justice. The beatdown we just saw, especially in that game number 2. But Boise breezing past all opponents, remaining undefeated. One more game left here. It'll be Boise State taking on Lakeland in our final match of the night. Best of 3 there, but Boise's going to be hard-pressed to be slowed down by Lakeland because he just absolutely hammered Kansas State.
I mean, I would think a final score of 48-7 is exactly what you can expect when it's Packers versus Packers playing playing at Saints. So
playing in New Orleans, Packers versus Packers. It's all Madden chaos. Don't forget, you can score pro advice at the Esports Tower. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Unlock your true talent. esportstower.com. Our Esports Tower Rumble for the week in Rocket League will be coming up tomorrow, so you do not want to miss that. A little bit later start than usual, but you will still not want to miss. I've heard there's some really, really great teams in this upcoming Rumble, so you do not want to miss that tomorrow. Right now, though, it is Madden 21. Boise just beat the brakes off of Kansas State, and now we'll see if Lakeland has anything up their sleeve to slow him down. We'll be taking a quick break, but we'll be back with our final best of 3 of the night. It's Boise State, it's Lakeland, it's Madden 21, and Boise's still killing everybody. We'll find out if he's got one more victim after the break. Welcome back in the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're chugging right along here on a Monday. We've still got plenty in Madden. Not the NACE Championships, as maybe some were expecting. That game against Shenandoah will be coming up in a few weeks. Instead, it is PlayVS. Boise State first took down Kansas State in a close game 1 and a blowout game 2. And now we'll see what Lakeland has in store for Boise. And Lakeland has some common opponents against Boise State's future opponents, as Lakeland beat Shenandoah, who's also in PlayVS and actually struggling. They are 17th right now in PlayVS, with a top 16 make the playoffs. So a potential NACE champion could miss the PlayVS playoffs. So we will keep an eye on that. Lakeland beat Shenandoah earlier this season 2-1. And Santa Fe, a huge matchup on Wednesday you're going to want to check out. One of the toughest opponents Boise's ever played. Beat Lakeland 2-1 in as well. So a couple of common opponents that Boise is going to be playing in the future in some very big games. Right now, Lakeland's got to see what he can do against Boise. And Jem, if Boise plays anything like he did in the Kansas State series, really doesn't matter who Lakeland has played and who's behind the controller. Boise's just going to beat them down.
I just watched a 48-7 football game, Fish.
Yeah.
I mean, well, what else can I say at this point, really? To just 48-7, Boise, 5 conversions. I mean, really.
Yeah, I mean, 6 total turnovers in that game. Yeah, just absolutely a bonkers performance. We'll see. I mean, Lakeland clearly looks like they have the skills on paper, beating Shenandoah, who will be in the NACE Championships, against Boise. Shenandoah is one of only 2 schools that we've seen even beat Boise in a single game. And also took a game off of Santa Fe, who Boise said the player for Santa Fe is one of the best players he's ever played against. So we will have to see what Lakeland has in store. We know what we have in Boise. He is not going to be stopped offensively. He's going to maybe get a turnover here or 2. And really the only question we have to see is who is Lakeland going to play? Are they going to play the Packers? Are they going to play the Buccaneers? Or are they going to be trolling and play a team that isn't those 2 teams? Because Boise has told us Packers and Bucks is the meta, and everything else, even the beloved Chiefs, even with Patrick Mahomes, is honestly kind of trolling. So I'll be curious to see. We've seen a lot of Packers on Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers probably gets the slight advantage, only in Madden, over Tom Brady. And we'll see what Lakeland has in store here as they get ready to take off Boise State.
I mean, if there's anyone that I would expect, it's going to be Packers. Packers again. I mean, if there's anyone that I would expect to, troll with the team, it would be Boise, just in how good he's been sitting in the standings thus far.
I don't know. Boise's the kind of guy who I think really wants to make sure he comes home with the W. I think we've very rarely seen him play anything but the Packers. I don't know if we've actually ever seen him play anything but the Packers. 3rd straight game in a row, though, that Boise will get the ball to start the game, which will mean Lakeland does have the ball to start the second half, which could potentially be an issue. We'll have to see, but for now, Boise's setting up, and we'll see. He has not been stopped a single offensive possession today. He has scored a touchdown or a field goal on every single drive against Kansas State, and we'll see if we have more of the same here coming up against Lakeland.
Well, we're ready. Boise about to start his first offensive drive. Gonna hand it off to Jones, gain a few yards there, make it a 2nd and 3. Not the worst start.
Kind of a shockingly slow start for Boise. Usually he likes to throw the ball, but maybe he...
Which really says something when a gain of 7 yards is considered uncharacteristically slow for a player. Off to Austin is going to pick up the first down there.
Yeah, I mean, Boise very rarely runs the ball very often, except in short yardage situations or when he's just trying to burn the clock out. So he did start that with the run, and he'll try play action there. Oh, he's waiting for Tanya to release. Oh, they read it perfectly, and that was just sort of a bad pass, unfortunately, from Aaron Rodgers.
Intended for Robert Tanya.
2nd and 10 now, about a minute. Burned off in the first. Going to be looking for the pass here. Pass it off to Jones to the side. Not going to gain a whole lot there.
Rodgers pass.
Actually, 6 yards. So.
Spun forward for 3 or 4 yards. What Boise wants to do on 3rd and 4. Have to assume he'll go for it if he doesn't get it, but should have plenty of opportunity. Ooh, great catch there. Valdez Scantling, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, that was a really good catch right there. right when he needed it.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Boise going to be at the 40 right now. I mean, for the pass, pressure, had to throw it away.
It's a great throw out of a sack there for Aaron Rodgers, muscling that ball downfield.
This is a little bit better, you know, from Lakeland, I've got to say so far. It's a little bit more pressure onto Boise here, but Boise still finding a way to make it work. Nice pass there, another first.
Great play by Boise. Once again, really uncontested. There's only 2 incompletions. A throwaway and just a bad off the back foot kind of throw from Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see about the wheel route turning here for Jones. Usually wide open. Wasey's just going to tuck it and run. Pick up 4 yards.
Number 12, Aaron Rodgers.
He's going to use the slide there for Rodgers in the red zone now. Like you said, Fish, field just closes in a little. It's been in this red zone that we've seen Boise be able to pull off his interceptions. Able to find first there. Going to make it 1st and goal.
Yeah, that wheel route to Jones, and it's working. It's just so hard to cover, and now Boise will
1st and goal at the 3-yard
get
line.
the big guys out. He'll try and run this ball in, probably with Dylan. Fullback handoff here as soon as Lakeland picks their play. They are looking at least somewhat ready for it. They have the line of scrimmage all stuffed in. He'll change the play to that run.
And he's not going to get too fancy and try to, you know, pass it here when he really doesn't need to. Just going to try to run first.
Yeah, probably try one more running play. If he doesn't get it, wouldn't be shocked. Maybe he does run the ball or throw the ball on 3rd and goal, but still wins.
I mean, if you get to a point where you're 3rd, yeah, but, you know, Seahawks learned that lesson against the that hard lesson against the Patriots, you know, in the Super Bowl. You know, you don't want to unnecessarily pass it when you can you know, try to run it in a few times.
Yeah, just like that, right on cue. Boise will indeed run it in and score once again. 3 straight games with the ball first, and 3 straight first touchdowns for Boise in our play versus matches on the day.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting to see how Lakeland does with this. I mean, if Boise manages to get an interception or a turnover, you know, due to a fumble, then it would already be fair to probably call the game at that point. So it's kind of odd, you know, if you're used to the normal pace of football to say that we're not even out of the first and just a second touchdown in the first quarter is going to be enough to call the game. But with Boise, it's probably going to be the case if he manages to get it.
Yeah, you have to think that Lakeland's player isn't a shabby one. Like I said, he did beat Shenandoah, who Boise's going to play in the NACE Championships. They at least took a game off of Santa Fe. I know Boise has a ton of respect for him. And he gets a huge play to Tanya down the field. And, well, Lakeland, just like that, unlike Kansas State's able to match Boise's score for score, and he's going to do it in one play.
Yeah, I'm a lot happier to see a much closer game like this now. Boise's going to have a minute left to do it, at least in the first quarter. Still going to keep possession it into the second quarter if he wants to run out the clock.
Yeah, we'll see. Neither of these players. I mean, we only saw one play, and it was a few defensive breakdowns we see Boise have. Took him a little bit longer to move down the field. Take it out of the end zone. Had decent success over in that corner, but this time he'll get stopped at the 21-yard.
Now Boise on his second offensive drive here. Just under a minute. We said he doesn't normally choose a running play. He's going to pass it right there. Find himself just about, I would say, 5-6 yards short, getting that first down.
That's great little play on first down. Really kind of opens up the field. And unfortunately, even with 4 guys over there, Jones still makes the catch. It's first down for Boise.
I mean, that's got to be a good feeling for Boise, at least. He hasn't, at least so far, he's had plenty of time to be able to find the right pass. Haven't been really that much of a threat of a sack thus far.
First quarter comes to an end. We still got ourselves a ball game here. Tied at 7, and Lakeland with a little bit of the advantage since they do get the ball in the second half. So Wasey's got to be careful that he either takes a lot of time off the clock or is able to score multiple times in a row. Lakeland could easily get back in this series. Boise will instead just run with it, pick up a couple yards.
Aaron Rodgers on the keeper.
Not the worst. Better at least than throwing it away, or having to throw it away, being forced to throw it away. Going to be 2nd and 7. Rodgers looking for the pass. Going to be able to find it. Another first.
That is a great first down there for Boise. Doesn't really seem like he's too interested in killing the clock right now, at least. But
with 4 minutes, you know, if he was to get a touchdown in the next 30 seconds, it's not impossible that he could get another one before the second quarter ends. Ooh, go deep. Ooh, incomplete.
Great defense there from Lakeland to stop that deep play. Wasey's now forced to face a 2nd and 10, and maybe now we'll see him start to burn some of that clock off, not let Lakeland have an advantage and a potential chance to take the lead in the second half. Nice little just check down play there. Let's go with a manageable 3rd and 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Boise can make a 3rd and 4 here. I mean, he hasn't really failed any offensive drive yet. So, yeah, pass over to Jones, going to find it, making another first.
Easy play there for Boise, and now he's in that kill clock mode. Wants to try and prevent Lakeland from getting another touch. And this is, again, where, you know, you see a lot of Boise's opponents kind of struggle to call timeout. Give themselves
yeah,
this
is the main thing, that, you know, once Boise is in control of that clock, he's really been good, at least tonight, on running it down, and his opponents really haven't taken advantage of all the timeouts that they're given.
Yeah, Boise, I mean, we've seen Boise do it a little bit. These players just kind of lose track of those timeouts. Nice force on a throwaway there. 3rd and 9, more than manageable for Boise. Curious if he doesn't get this, if he does choose to kick the field goal or not. It's probably the decision maybe he's weighing in the back of his mind right now on this 3rd down play. Instead, he's got a wide open
pass.
Tavon Austin, who nearly gets thrown into the end zone. And now we will see Lakeland call their first timeout, but Boise's got the ball at the 1-yard line, and he's looking poised to score this one.
And he can just hand it off here, pick up 1 yard or so. He's going to put himself back in the lead. Hands it off, just makes it. There's his 2nd touchdown. Make it 14 and 7. Or, well, assuming he doesn't go for 2 here, which doesn't look like it.
No, he'll kick the extra point. Pretty safe. But that nice timeout there by Lakeland did allow them to at least give themselves plenty of time to drive down the field, and they can make that 14-point swing, or if they can score here and then score again at the start of the second half, they would have the lead. So they could still potentially put quite a lot of pressure on Boise. It's a pretty good kick return as well to start things out for Lakeland.
Yeah, now this is going to be Lakeland's opportunity to be able to control this clock here. You're able to burn enough time to where you can get yourself a touchdown and then give it to Boise with, 10 seconds left. Be the worst. Play action there. Going to be trying to find the pass. Instead, just going to toss it, make it 2nd and 10.
Great job there by Boise to shut down that one. We haven't seen a lot of plays from Lakeland, as their only touchdown drive was a 70-yard bomb on the first play from scrimmage for them. So you don't have too much scouting to go off of if you're Boise. Boise State fan, and
whoa,
nearly sacked, barely gets the ball away, and now it's a pretty big 3rd and 10 for Lakeland.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen, has Boise even had a 3rd and 10? I think he's managed to at least run it at least some distance from all his plays thus far. If I remember correctly, I don't know if Boise has had a 3rd and 10, or if he has, it's just been 1 or 2 times for the whole night. And timeout's going to be called there by Boise.
Yeah, didn't wanted to make sure he got the right look. Probably gets to give his defensive players some rest as well. You see that? Ooh, turned right into it.
Oh,
Huge
wow.
interception for Boise. And
that's the turning point.
could be where the game turns. See what Boise can do in the minute and a half he was given, but nearly got the sack, just forces a panic throw, and great interception there by Boise to scoop that one up and put himself right near midfield.
1st and 10, midfield for Boise. Play action. Looking for the pass, is going to pass it over to Tanyan. Find the 1st down.
You got Jones on, oh, never mind. Thought we had Jones on a wheel route. We'll change that one up. Let Adams back in motion across the field. Snap off. He's got triangle maybe open. And unfortunately just
out of reach.
inaccurate pass. Trying for that play to Tanya once again. Just not quite able to find it. And it's 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
51 seconds left, so once Boise might be comfortable here with a 1st down, we might see him maybe try to burn off just a little bit off the clock. That's assuming that he's able to get in a more comfortable position by finding a 1st down. Pass to Adams is going to find it.
See if Boise calls the timeout. Nope, we'll just go for the no huddle. I mean, you're already looking at a very small amount of time for Lakeland to score, and Boise's just going to run out of bounds there and put himself in 2nd and 3.
Now ending it, making it 21 and 7. Or if Boise wants to get a little fancy and make it 22 and 7, that would be pretty darn good and would probably be the game right there. Is able to find another 1st down.
I mean, good news for Lakeland is you do get the ball to start the 2nd half, so you can potentially try and at least save some pace with Boise if he does score a touchdown here. If they hold him to a field goal, that would be even more huge, but unfortunately,
nice catch.
Yeah, not going to be able to do that. Valdez Scantling with the great leaping grab for a touchdown, and Boise is already starting to put a bow onto this one with a 21-7.
Yep, now Lakeland's going to have very little time, so unless they want to do one heck of a return here and at least try to make it, 14 and 21, Boise's going to be ending this 1st half with a lot of spring in his step there, and is going to be stopped.
Yeah, see what, I'm curious what Lakeland will want to do here.
At their own 31-yard line.
They will just run the ball out, or if they'll try it in pass. 16 seconds, not the most amount of time. It's still potential. Yeah, he's going to go 5 wide, so he wants that touchdown. He wants to find that miracle play back in, but if he throws a pick, this game could be over if Boise can get one more score.
Is able to find it, but only a 1st down there.
Calls the timeout, 11 seconds left. Only has to probably get about 20 yards or so to put himself in field goal range. So at least get, and he has a timeout. So
Yeah, one more timeout to play with.
21-10 going into the halftime. We'll see what Lakeland has up their sleeve.
Snap back to Rogers. Looking for the pass there. There's plenty of time. Ooh, nice catch there by Adams. He's going to use the timeout again, so he's in field goal range now.
Now the question becomes, if you're Lakeland, as I say, do you go for the field goal? You could maybe run a play in 5 seconds and try for the end zone, but he'll just kick a field goal and
35-yard attempt.
See if his field goal is good, or if he shanks it, he's able to kick that one
good
through.
for 3.
1 second left for Boise. Doesn't really matter what he calls at this point. I'll be curious if maybe gives Lakeland the spark they needed to potentially keep this a game.
I mean, any momentum that you can get in your mind mentally is going to be helpful here.
Wasey
Just
just burning clock. Would have been
Yeah.
all disastrous had he fumbled that. But we'll go to halftime. Wasey with the 11-point lead, and
Packers 10.
now he's got to kick the ball right back to Lakeland and see if Lakeland
Mason
can
Crosby to kick
score a
off
touchdown
for
here.
Green
Make
Bay.
Yeah,
this
it's still a
one-possession game.
two-score game.
Yep. So if you get this within 4 if you're Lakeland. That would be huge to, giving yourself a chance in the fourth quarter potentially.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Just making their decision there. It's such a flash, all of these options that you see that they're having to choose here on the fly. It's just such an encyclopedic knowledge that you got to have.
Casey is quite
Wow.
adjustment. Nice
Nice.
running play there for Lakeland. First carry of the game for Adam Jones. He picks up 13. Now maybe Lakeland starting to feel themselves a little bit. They got that big bomb at the end of the half. He wants Adams.
Another one.
This is
Dangerous.
Ball bounced several times. Looked like Wasey first almost had it, and then it almost bounced into the hand of Adams. But
Second down and 10.
Wasey lucky enough to defend that one, and it'll go to 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a risky pass right there. Wasey definitely was in front. Was in front of Lakeland there. Had the opportunity. He's just going to go for another run, pick up another first down. So 24 yards, 2 rushes. Not the worst,
No,
but still just a little bit slow going since you at least need a touchdown and then another touchdown since it's going to be within. It's going to be within 4 if you manage to get 7. So if you went for the 2-point conversion, you could maybe try to get a field goal. But again, that only ties it up, and by then you just got to think of how much time you're going to have left in the 4th.
yeah, because Wasey probably will just run out as much clock as possible. Touchdown would make it a little bit more difficult for him to do that because it would require him to try and score at some point. That's a nice pass over there to Adams, and Lakeland's doing a nice job moving the football.
Yeah, this is probably the most consistent, or one of the more consistent drives that I've seen from Lakeland. The thing is that it's just once they get into that red zone, I'm going to be curious on how their performance is, because that has been a good point for Wasey in terms of the defense and getting those interceptions there. So it might be smooth sailing for now. Pass over there to Tanyan, another first down, but now we see if all this pays off.
This is where things went south for Kansas State. Both games having a red zone turnover, which is never a good thing. And we'll see if Lakeland is able to reverse those fortunes and put a decent amount of pressure onto Boise. Time is starting to become a factor, though, as we're already halfway through the 3rd quarter. Hasn't really done much to speed things up so far, as that's a huge stop, and it's going to be a very, very big 3rd and 3. And Wasey will actually call a timeout for that 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd.
Yeah, he's going to want to be in a better position to control the clock and run it out. Does Lakeland go for another run here, or do they pass it?
I have to think they'd pass it. They've actually run the ball relatively successfully. They got Jones wide open.
Oh, just short.
We'll see. Yeah, 4th and inches. This is your ball game here, folks.
Yeah, you got to do it now. You got to run it
You
here.
don't get this. Oh, Wasey nearly had him. He'll end up scoring.
Well, that's your clutch touchdown there. That keeps Lakeland in the running.
Keeps him in the game. They'll actually go for 2 to try to get this within a field goal game. And Wasey would call another timeout. Not liking the look.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You've managed to burn off 2 timeouts from Wasey. Just kind of limits his ability a little bit to control the clock there. You managed to get this. Oh, he's actually just going to go for the 1 point then.
Timeout, I guess, was enough to call Lakeland's bluff. Let's kick the extra point. And now Wasey will get the ball. We'll see how much time he can run off the clock here.
Now, how many times throughout this season, Fish, have you seen Wasey commit a turnover, actually?
Very, very rarely. I mean, it really has only happened, you know, in his losses that he's struggled with turnovers. So I would be shocked to see Wasey, if he does commit a turnover, as he gets a decent return to the 25-yard line.
Tigers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Making his decisions here. Going to be the first play of his drive. 1st and 10 as always. Almost to the 20 here. Looking for the pass. Little bit of pressure there, and is just going to toss it.
Yeah, unfortunately just dropped back a little bit too far. So Wasey maybe feeling the heat a little bit from Lakeland, who, as we said, we know they're a talented opponent. They beat Shenandoah and took a game off of Santa Fe. Two opponents that I know Wasey has a lot of respect for. As Adams makes a great catch for 1st down.
Now Wasey just kind of starts with the general consistency that you'd come to expect from him. Hands off to Jones, only not even necessarily even going to pick up anything there.
Yeah, it was really close actually to getting through that hole there. Just couldn't quite get it done. Wasey's he's starting to already kill that clock though. He knows that time is of the essence, mainly for his opponent, honestly. Because he's going to throw a beauty.
Wow.
Valdez Scantling.
Oh, wow.
He'll
There
lock
you go.
it in, and Wasey will say that was a great touchdown on 4th and inches. Let me just go back up 11, and, you know.
Yeah, that's the touchdown of the game there, too.
That's the backbreaker.
Picks up the extra point. Going to make it 28-17, and now Lakeland, now all the pressure's back on them. You got to make at least one touchdown, and you know, maybe hope that Wasey commits a turnover, which, like you said, he really doesn't ever really do. So,
and now we're probably looking at a 2-point conversion attempt here from Lakeland if they score to make this a field goal game. Give themselves a little bit more breathing room, but definitely a well-deserved performance here from Lakeland. Being Wasey all he can handle.
yeah, this has been a lot more competitive, and props to Lakeland for that. Finds big opening there with Jones, just going to be 1 or 2 yards short. 1st down there. 2nd and 1.
2nd and a long one, I would think. We'll see here. Plenty of
17.
opportunities for Lakeland, either on 2nd and short or 3rd and short, to convert this one. So Hackett thinks they should be able to pick it up with ease, as Jones will do that. And
just as we enter the 4th.
now the 4th quarter begins. This is where the pressure will really start to mount on to Lakeland. They needed 2 scores here to win this game, or even at least tie it. And great throw there, and unfortunately for Lakeland, he stopped short of the 1st down.
2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
Clock almost to 4 minutes left. Plenty of time left on the play clock, though I don't think he'd really try to run it out.
Probably shouldn't, but he's going to actually do that. He just wanted to make all of his adjustments, play action. He reads that one perfectly. There's Tanya, the backfield though.
Whoa. Nice little spin there.
That's a Wasey staple play, and Lakeland ran it against him to perfection.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Time is going to become a factor, though, for Lakeland. They cannot afford to just dink and dunk their way down the field. They need a couple of big shot plays here to give themselves time.
And you know that when Wasey gets, possession of this ball, he is going to use that clock for, he's going to squeeze as much as he can out of that. The pass over to Austin is going to find another 1st down.
Yeah, Wasey could easily milk this whole 3 minutes off the clock, depending on how his 1st down situation goes. So There's a lot of pressure as Austin's going to get another one, and now you've got to start wondering if Lakeland starts to want to take timeouts, because they are starting to chew through that clock, and they still got to score again.
I mean, that is one thing that does surprise me a lot, is just how often it seems, or just how it seems that sometimes, you know, opponents can just forget about those three timeouts that they have.
Yeah, we're going to get taken down to the 2-minute warning. I don't think Lakeland's going to get a snap off here. They will, actually. And they wanted to try a QB draw, and that went nowhere. And now we're down to our final 2 minutes. And maybe if you're Lakeland, you just kick a field goal here, but you are down 11, so it would require you to get a 2-point conversion. But the longer it takes you to score, the worse off you're going to be.
3rd and 2nd. Hand off to Jones. Stop there is going to make it 4th.
An awful play. So they're going to burn another 15 seconds off the clock, trying to set this one up, and this is your ball game.
Yeah, they're not even going to go for field goal here, so it comes down to this. The pass is going to make it.
Shoved out of bounds, so he's still got to run another play.
And more time. More time burned.
Now 20 seconds have been burned off the clock. 2-minute warning. Hopefully it does stop when the player goes out of bounds under 2 minutes. So we won't have to worry about that. And that ain't it, Chief. That is, you're going the wrong way here if you're Lakeland.
Yep. Still 2nd and goal. Is going to find the touchdown, but yeah, it's just over a minute left, and Boise, you know, has controlled the clock. He's controlled the clock pretty well tonight, so doesn't, you know, if all he does is run out the clock, he's going to win it.
Yeah,
it's a point where it's like hoping he accidentally, you know, throws an interception.
Lakeland does have 3 timeouts, so we'll take Boise will need 1 first down, as that's a great play there. So Lakeland is at least within a field goal. But it does appear that Lakeland is just going to kick off normally, so they believe in their ability to get the ball back from Boise. We'll see what happens here in our final minute and 19 seconds of this first game of the PlayVS.
I do appreciate it being a lot more competitive, though, than the first one.
First games we've seen almost all season have been very competitive. It's usually those second games where the blowouts really start to happen. We'll see. Boise just needs 1 first down in theory to kill this clock.
But isn't going to find it there. Only going to get a yard or 2. There goes one of the timeouts there from Lakeland.
Boise probably wants to burn 1 more. I think 1 more guarantees a victory here. First down here would be very, very close in terms of if Boise could win.
Rogers, no pressure, finds the pass over to Jones for another few yards, but not that first down that he's looking for.
3rd and 4. This is your game if you're Lakeland. Now, Boise might even go for it on 4th, but I would assume he would punt, and Boise will take his final timeout with 1 minute 6 seconds on the clock, and this first down will ice the game if you're Boise, and if it's Lakeland, it'll give you a chance to potentially get the ball back and look to win the game.
That's going to be this one that really decides the game. Boise looking for that first down. Doesn't have any pressure, and is going to be incomplete, so he's, you know, probably going to go on 4th or punt it.
He's going to go for it, it looks like. Boise with no timeouts and no fear. Needs this first down.
Man, this is a huge. If this is a conversion on downs here, then Lakeland, Boise might have handed Lakeland the game.
Lakeland would still need to score a touchdown from the 29-yard line. That would be a very simple task as opposed to scoring it from the other 29-yard line off a punt. Boise's got nobody open, but there he is.
Oh, there you go.
Man of the hour. And that'll be game.
Yep.
That
That's it
will
right
be-
there.
Yep, QB Neal. Another very close game, but Lakeland just could not get the stop when they needed it most.
46-yard line.
26.
Boise State will go on to game point. And Wasey's looking to go 4-0 on the day. He's just got to call one more play.
It's just gonna take a knee there, run out the clock, and just let the clock run out itself there. And that's going to be it. Boise able to pull out the victory here, but I got to hand it to Lakeland. They drove the game to a point where Boise had to make it on a 4th down. With all things considered and the way that Boise has been able to just do these steamroll games, I got to really hand it to Lakeland there for making it as competitive as they did.
Yeah, like I said, Lakeland has a very good record behind them. Wins over Shenandoah and a 2-1 loss to Santa Fe. Boise's upcoming opponents. So that would be very good. I mean, like you said, huge props to them for being able to pull that off.
Now, one thing you said that was interesting, Fish, that I want to toss as a question to you is you kind of said that the second game is really kind of, the first ones tend to be more competitive, where the second ones you really kind of see the steamrolls happen more often. What do you think has to go on in the mind of Lakeland right now if they want to not only tie it up, but really kind of go against what has been precedent here?
I think they've got to definitely think of a new way to approach Wasey, because he's very good at recognizing what you like to do well, what you do often, and kind of capitalizing on it and countering it. So if you're Lakeland, hopefully you held some cards close to the vest. Hopefully you have maybe a formation or two up your sleeve that you didn't show, because Wasey has time and time again showed that he makes incredible adjustments after game 1. Plays that work on him in game 1 rarely work on him in game 2. So that's what Lakeland's got to be thinking about here as we send it over to a break, is how can they keep Wasey on their toes? What new formations? Do they have anything up their sleeves? But, I mean, they got oh so close. It was a 4th and 3 for the game, and Wasey, no one other than Tanya, picks up the game-winning first down. Well, as we said, we'll take a quick break. Can Lakeland figure out a way to force us to a game 3 for only the 3rd time all season, or will Wasey get a clean 2-0 and wrap up this Monday in style? Find out next after this break. Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Potentially our final game of the night. In the way Wasey's been playing so far in the PlayVS series, it is trending in that direction. No offense to his opponent Lakeland, but we got confirmation during the break that Wasey has not lost a single game in the PlayVS series. He has lost only 2 games all spring semester. 1 to Shenandoah, which he'll look to avenge in the NACE Championships, and 1 in last week's crazy semifinals against Muskingum. That is the only 2 teams or players that have ever beat Wasey this semester, and so now we'll see if Lakeland, who came oh so close in Game 1, Gem, can find a way to get us to a Game 3, or if it will be Wasey looking right ahead to that very tough matchup against Santa Fe with zeros all across the loss column.
Yeah, Lakeland now has the opportunity to, if they have the same performance that they did in Game 1, at least drive it to, a crucial play where either Wasey has to get the first down or the game is going to be very likely to go over to Lakeland. So that is a definite improvement over, other matches that Wasey has had. But Lakeland now is, not only fighting against the skill of Wasey, but as we said earlier, kind of just precedent as the second games, especially with Wasey, as if he gets the first win, have tended to go a lot more lopsided in favor.
Yeah, I mean, and it really comes down to those adjustments that Wasey makes, those plays that we see teams really, make electric plays and big chunk plays on in the first game. Wasey usually immediately shuts that down. He usually gets a lot more sacks in Game 2 as well. So it's going to be a lot of pressure on Lakeland. I mean, how do you keep Wasey on his toes? Can you maybe throw in a different formation, a different look, a new play? And once again, Wasey will get the ball first. 4 times in a row tonight that Wasey will receive the opening kickoff. He scored on the first 3. We'll see if he can make it 4 for 4 as game number 2 between Lakeland and Boise State kicks off. Wasey gets the ball out to the 25-yard.
Yeah, no big return for him there. Now just making all the adjustments that he needs to.
It's the one thing we have not seen from Wasey is a kick return for a touchdown.
No, we haven't seen that. In fact, that last kick return was probably, one of the shortest that I've seen. So Wasey is definitely going to have his work cut out for him. A long way to go. Looks like the 19 there. He's going to find his first down, though, so off to a good start.
Yeah, great 12-yard play there for the hero from game number 1. Robert Tanya. Really a hero in all of these Packers v. Packers games. And he gets the ball once again, this time for 7.
2nd and 5 now for Wasey. Plenty of time on the play clock. Looking for his pass. I just toss it, back over to Jones, but still fall a little bit short.
3rd one should be pretty simple here. Lakeland's going to crowd the line of scrimmage, anticipating a run. Wasey won't have any of that. Tough catch for Valdo Scanlon. 4 for 4 and a first down.
That was a nice 15-yard pass there. Puts Wasey about to the 45 now. Rogers, not a lot of pressure. Another pass. Gonna be brought down there.
And this is the bigger issue really even for Lakeland is not offensively can you confuse Wasey, it's how do you stop him defensively. 5 for 5 to start game number 2. Already in the red zone. He's gonna make a couple of play changes there. He's got a wide receiver screen set up for Adams. Not gonna work. Jones cuts it at the 1. They'll give it to him. Ball breaks the plane, and Wasey starts this one out with a bang. 4 straight games. He scores a touchdown on the opening drive.
I'll just go for the standard extra point here. It's going to be good and make it 7. Now it's going to be Lakeland's turn. They haven't been too bad, though, on their offensive drives either. It hasn't been a case of consistent turnovers. They've been pretty reliable in terms of the amount of scores that they've been able to get. It's going to be stopped right there, around the 30.
Yeah, Lakeland is definitely putting up a much better fight than we saw in our first game with Kansas State, but it's still going to come down to making sure you can score touchdowns. That was the big difference in our first game. They missed out on an opening drive touchdown and allowed Boise to balloon that lead to 14-0. And their frantic comeback just fell just short.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Play action there. Going deep and
Ooh.
just like we talked about, Wasey's pressure nearly gets to him. Rogers ends up with a nice 9-yard scramble. Give him 10 on the stat sheet, but it's still second and inches.
Take second and inches over second and 19 any day. So.
That is true. The ball is basically on the first down line if the center just fell forward with it.
Now the snap, hands it off to Jones, able to easily pick up the first. Now up to the 47th.
See what Lakeland wants to do. They have definitely put the pressure on Wasey. Just unfortunately, we're not quite able to match him score for score in our first game of the evening.
Finds himself at 2nd and 5. Still has a little over a minute left in the first. Snap back, hand off to Jones. Not going to find it.
A very interesting third down call here for Lakeland. Have to assume they'll probably go for it if they don't get it here, but this is already a very, very peculiar spot. They're going to go 5 wide. Not something we see these players do very often. See if Wasey has the answer. He's going to cover both the short routes. Rogers with pressure coming. Intercepted by
there
Wasey.
you go.
Only the offensive line to beat. Probably could have scored if he broke that across the field, but he does not care. And we talked about game 2s usually do not go the opponent's way. That right there is evidence that this one could be heading in the wrong direction for Lakeland right off the gate.
And Wasey on his first pass, not going to find it. That was incomplete.
Really a pick of his own.
And that would have that would have been a mulligan, I suppose, if there ever was one. Give Lakeland a little bit time to breathe there if he had thrown his first pick of the night. He's now going to dust himself off, look for another one there. He's just going to run it and be able to find the first.
Nice job there by Wasey to pick up that and go to the second quarter. Wasey's got the ball and he's driving right along.
With the score, Packers 7.
Make this a 14-0 game.
At the 44th, just starting out the second here.
Tossed it in motion. Ooh.
Oh.
Scary throw there. Austin makes the catch though, and 2nd and 2.
Yeah, some of these passes here from Wasey have been just a little bit closer in terms of their riskiness. Still has managed to find a way to pull it out. There's only 2 left. Is going to be looking for another pass. Over to Jones. Is going to find it.
Yeah, I mean, Wasey is, really come out on a tear in this game. Only had 1 incompletion all game.
It's also a thing of looking, Wasey much more consistently, able to keep it to only first or second down. It seemed like Lakeland was much more. Oh, that is a great pass there. It's going to push it up to the 4th, make it 1st and goal. Make it 14-0 would be a great start. But anyway, like I was saying, Lakeland much more often driven to, those 3rd and 10 situations, whereas Wasey, that's more of a foreign concept to him.
Yeah, Wasey, again, it all starts offensively, slowing him down. Ooh, risky play, and he gets picked off.
Wow.
Very risky play there from Wasey.
Yeah, that's Lakeland's lifeline right there. They can tie this up now. It's Wasey's first pick of the night.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, Madden.
Yeah, that's how footballs fly in the air.
Yeah, it goes right into the other guy. It goes right into your receiver's hands, and then the DB just.
That is one magic football.
And all right, so this has been the one thing that I think Wasey has done a really good job of overcoming. Is he's had some very interesting fumbles. I mean, that was an interception that I don't think we really need to address. We saw the replay, and that's all we need.
The football pauses in midair, mind you.
Well, it literally paused in Tanya's hands and then teleported into the defender's hand. That is a crock of an interception.
I know you have. I've heard you say that you have your beefs with refs at times.
Yeah,
this was the virtual ref you have.
Crazy things happen to the team I'm rooting for when they play in the Superdome, apparently. Just a very unfortunate place to be. Wasey, of course, did not know this before he joined the Boise City Esports team. I wish I could have warned him, because that's a huge hit on to Austin, 2nd and 8, and hopefully Wasey gets one back from the football gods, because that's one of those where if Lakeland wins, you really got to wonder if they deserve to win on that. That is not a...
But it's almost a rite of passage. You know, you're going to have those plays that just, for some reason or another, just don't go your way. Whether it's in Madden or real life. The ref just makes a call that
but
you don't agree with.
Teleport. I mean, that was.
That's true.
It was that was almost like that felt like a.
But it's the closest thing. It's the closest thing you could have in this virtual sense to like the ref making a bad call. You know what I mean?
Predetermined play there. But I get your point. It just felt predetermined. The game's like, we need an interception, spice things up. Lakeland's, I mean, they're moving the ball at least. They're only running. I mean, we've seen teams do this. They limit how often.
Lakeland's finding a way to make it work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Musk and Gum last week made it work enough to get us to a game 3.
Gets another pass and gets a touchdown.
Wow.
Talk about making it work.
Wow. I mean, the football gods have decided that Lakeland University is the place to be today. This game number 2 is everything that's gone their way in the last 2 minutes.
All tied up now. Now Wasey, not really in a too familiar position now, is going to have all the pressure be placed on him to get back into the lead. He's going to go with the return there.
Yeah, and with Lakeland getting the ball to start the second half, Wasey's got to basically score on this possession to make sure he maintains the lead.
Wasey not in a position where he can comfortably run out the clock this time. This is much more if he needs to make the plays to get the touchdown. It's going to be 2nd and 4th.
Wasey, I mean, really, he has not been stopped. That fluke interception aside, Wasey has driven the ball down the field with relative ease. He's going to do it once again. Even into Jair Alexander in the zone after that interception. Wasey does not care. Shreds him for a nice 20-yard gain, and looks like he'll probably do another one right there to Tavon Austin. And just like that, Wasey's on plus territory.
Yep, 161 total yards thus far for this game. Finds himself on the 41. Looking for his pass. Finds it with Austin, another first.
Wasey he's a man on a mission now. Would not like to be Lakeland. He's not always kind. People have lucky moments against him. Likes to run up the score when he can in these situations. For now, he'll just keep running. And this is what I will say is his one maybe major flaw. Has all 3 of those timeouts sitting there and is refusing to use them. Would love to be able to pick his brain on why. He'll just throw it out of bounds. He has to have a reason, I'm sure.
For not using the timeouts?
Yeah.
I would assume so. I'm not in his position.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, they prove vital. I mean, would maybe believe that going no huddle, you get maybe a look against it. You don't give the defense time to change formation, so you do have that going for you. As Wasey's looking for a first with Rogers. He's going to get it. Nobody touched him, actually. So 7 seconds left. Now Wasey's going to have to call a timeout, but he wasted about 10 seconds on that one play. That really means he gets one shot at the end zone and then he can kick a field goal here.
Yeah, if he hadn't really wasted those seconds, he'd have at least he would have probably 2 chances here. So could make all the difference as we're just about to head into halftime. Gets sacked though. That is a huge play for Lakeland.
Yeah, that'll force Wasey to kick the field goal. So they'll only have a 3-point lead going into the second half. Lakeland has done a great job keeping this close. Lost by 3 in game 1. We're only down by 3 going into halftime of game number 2. And Lakeland gets the ball here and could be a very, very huge drive.
It would be the first time tonight that we have seen someone else other than Wasey in the lead.
Yeah, Wasey has never trailed tonight as well in our matchup, both against Kansas State and Lakeland.
That return's going to be stopped at the 30. Lakeland now for the opportunity to at least tie it up. I mean, that's what they're looking at with a field goal, but even just making 1 touchdown is going to put them in the lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, might be a potential case of last team with the ball wins. Wasey, yeah, this is the one problem with teams that try and get cute and run the ball. Wasey's going to figure that one out real quickly, and the only counter that Muskingum had was to call multiple, really to change the whole play up at the line of scrimmage and kind of catch Wasey off guard. So we'll see if Lakeland can do that, because right now running the ball is already put him in 3rd and 12.
Yeah, what was looking like an opening for Lakeland is now turned into a dire circumstance. Can't really run the ball now. Is try to be cute. I mean, you could if you were insane, but it doesn't look like that's really what Lakeland is going to do here. Needs to find a good pass here and some pressure coming on Rogers here. Right off to the side, and that is huge.
Yeah, doesn't get the roughing the passer the call either. 4th and 12 from the 28. Have to think Lakeland is debating right now if they want to go for it. If you go for it and do not get it, Wasey is putting himself in a position to really ice this game. And they're going to eventually decide to punt. So Lakeland will, once they fake it, believe in their defense here in a 10-7 game. They will boot it away.
That's a huge hold there for Wasey. It's going to be on the 16.
See if Lakeland's faith in their defensive ability will reward him or not. They have not stopped Wasey tonight. Besides that 1 interception, and you can count that sack, but he still got a field goal out of it. Wasey will just tuck it and run for a 5-yard gain on 1st and 10. Guess they'll give him 4. Ball moved from the 16 to the 21, but 2nd and 6, so we'll call it 4.5.
He's got to round it up to a whole number somewhere. Finds the pass there. Ooh.
Wasey has been very, very aggressive in this game. Way more aggressive than we're used to him seeing. He's usually more calm and takes the path of least resistance.
Well, maybe he just kind of recognizes, that Lakeland's bigger threat there has been a lot more competitive in both of their games. So he wants to find a way to score any way that he can.
Oh, no. Oh, Valdez Scantling pulls it in with one hand. Just absolutely roast the defender.
That's a great pass there.
That was just phenomenal, and just like that, this game has been blown wide open, and Lakeland probably regrets that decision to punt on 4th down.
Yeah, Wasey, they had to, have been thinking, At Boise, with that short of yardage, would have probably gotten the touchdown anyway, but now hindsight 2020, you know, it's just he's already gotten that touchdown, so Lakeland just gave up at least one more attempt that they had to keep it in their possession. So now they're going to have to at least try to focus on getting it back to within field goal territory here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when you're down by multiple scores, that running the ball style really can cause some issues. And immediately they go 5 wide. Boise reads it perfectly, and he'll pick it off. Wave the white flag. Lakeland University, you put up a hell of a fight for 2 quarters. That's the game right there.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just and that is what has plagued teams that have tried to do this strategy, is when Boise finally finds a way to break through based on either a turnover or a 4th down punt, and he puts you down multiple scores, it's so hard to keep running the football, and Boise's going to make you go into an uncomfortable formation, and Lakeland pays for it.
A 6-yard pickup brings up
2nd and 4th. With a touchdown here, that would almost certainly end it in Boise's favor. He's going to run out the play clock to 1 second. Now looking for his pass. Ooh. Just barely there. He's going to make it 3rd and 5.
Time already running out, though. I mean, Boise's more than content with this 3rd down. Probably will even go for it on 4th down, especially with a 2-score lead. Snaps it perfectly with 1 second left. He's going to wait for Tanya to release. Oh, it's going to be close. What are they going to give him? Defense celebrates, which means it's a 4th and 1, and Boise without hesitation will immediately go for it. And we'll see if he's able to get it. 4th and 3 iced the last game, so Lakeland's ready for this. Bombs it!
Wow.
Somebody page Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. That's a deep one on 4th and 1. It's 24-7.
That is almost certainly sealed it now for Boise. Picks up the extra. Now it's a little surreal to think that just, you know, about 10 minutes ago it was looking like Lakeland was maybe going to take the lead there, but now they find themselves way back. Only going to be able to push it to the 29 there.
That just shows how quickly Boise can absolutely blow a game wide open. Went from 10-7 to 24-7 in this quarter alone. Boise scored 2 touchdowns. Lakeland has not gotten a 1st down. And that trend will continue as Adams takes a big hit and ends up dropping it.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
Now 5 seconds left before we head into the 4th.
Bombs it. Ooh. Oh, wow. Big hit. Ends up forcing a drop there.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Packers 24.
Boise's setting himself up as we go to the 4th. Very, very good position. This 5 wide set really hasn't worked, because it finally works there, but at what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions in this formation. Not had the greatest of games for Lakeland. And I mean, our trend continues with game 2 blowouts. That is, looks like the receiver was no idea what the ball was doing. It looked like Boise was throwing it to himself.
Yeah, so now it's double over, basically.
Yeah, 3 interceptions for Lakeland, even with the fluke pick. Not able to challenge Boise, and Boise will just simply run the ball out here and fill the rest of our remaining time.
That really is kind of something. You consider that's really not, you know, Wasey's really style. Only really 2 rushes thus far, and that's just counting the 2 that he's done. Everything else has been passing.
Oh yeah, Wasey rarely breaks out the run unless he's
the 36-yard line.
inside the 3-yard line or just trying to kill clock. Huge stop there for Lakeland to make it 3rd and 13.
Yeah, I believe I just saw 323 passing yards for Wasey.
Yeah, Wasey has moved the ball up and down the field. I mean, we forget because of that interception, but this game could easily be 31-7. Even had to settle for a field goal at the end of the half. I mean, he has been in the red zone multiple times. Risky throw there. Barely gets it to the Adams in multiple defenders, and they give him the first down. I didn't think that was a first, but
yeah,
gave it to him.
he was a little short there, but
1st and 10 at the
Guess we'll call that
46-yard
our
line.
karma, if you will.
yeah, brings it above 300 passing yards now.
And we'll just go to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes from this game. Wrapping up.
There goes 2-minute warning. Pretty much all assured for Wasey at this point.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if he does, like we saw in the second game for Kansas State, if he does push the pedal to the metal. Instead, no, he just wants to run this one out. Looks like Lakeland's going to let him do that. Probably could even go for the QB kneel downs if he really wants to.
46-yard line. 8 yards on the
Yeah, once he
pickup.
gets inside of a minute.
2nd and 2.
He's probably going to do that, but for now, picks up another first down.
Jones
Oh, I mean, this,
Oh, it's 3rd and inches, excuse me.
unless Lakeland calls a timeout, this game is officially over. Does not matter what happens on this play as long as there's less than 40 seconds on the game clock, which there is right now. So Wasey will go for it one more time. I guess if this ball is dropped, then the game would continue, but that will do it. Play clock will wind down unless Wasey wants to maybe try and get one back on Lakeland. Doesn't look like it. He'll just let it tick down. Don't even think he'll bother snapping the ball. He will not. And Wasey will move in to his final regular season match against Santa Fe. A player that Wasey has had several matches with in franchise modes and has a ton of respect for, with a perfect overall record as well as a perfect game record. Not dropping a single game in PlayVS. That is coming up Wednesday at 5. You do not want to miss it. It'll be right here on the Boise State Twitch page. But overall, a lot closer against Lakeland, who, I mean, at least from what we knew, they had played Shenandoah, they had played Santa Fe, 2 of the tougher teams that Wasey's going to see in the coming weeks. And they gave Wasey everything he could handle in game 1 and for half of game 2. But in the end, Jem, Wasey is just too strong and cannot be matched at all in that second game, even despite a very, very questionable interception.
Yeah, despite that one interception, I have to say, though, if Lakeland's performance, you know, at least in the first game, is anything to judge, then those matchups that he's going to have coming up in the next few weeks, you're definitely going to want to see.
Yep.
Since that's going to, you know, it's a lot nicer to see those kind of competitive games rather than blowouts like we saw in the first match.
Yeah, as we said, it will be on this coming Wednesday. Will be Boise State versus Santa Fe, final game in the PlayVS regular season, and Wasey will be taking on Santa Fe. He's already into the playoffs. The games to watch there, which we'll hopefully have updates on, will be Shenandoah, which is his opponent in the NACE Championships. From what I've been told by Nakoba, is sitting in 17th, and only 16 teams in PlayVS make the playoffs. So this could be a huge fall from grace for Shenandoah. Don't forget that championship is coming up April 24th, I believe, between Boise State and Shenandoah for the NACE title, which Wasey was able to slug out a win in the semifinals last week. But that will wrap things up. It's a Monday, it's Madden, and Wasey's still winning. Who would have guessed? Nothing changes even on spring break here in Boise. But that's all for now. Don't forget, we've got a ton of great stuff coming up. We've got Rocket League in our Esports Tower Rumble coming up tomorrow. We've also got more Madden as well as Overwatch coming up later this week. So if you want to make sure you don't miss any of the action, drop a follow on the Boise State Twitch page. Know every time something is coming up. But until next time, huge shout out to Jem for being my co-host here. For Koba and Capstar, hold it down to the production room and everybody in chat. Have a good one. Until next time when we see you.